Okay. Two interesting things. First, I found no difference in the ring gap with this ring in cylinder 2 versus cylinder 3 at the same depth in the cylinder. So I'm going to say that there's no, as for my purposes, there's no measurable difference in cylinder grade 1 and cylinder grade 2. Maybe between cylinder grade 1 and cylinder grade 3 there's a bigger difference. Or maybe it was just borderline on one side for 1 and one side for 2, and so they marked it that way. I'm really impressed with their precision, but also the interesting thing is these cylinders with a grade 2 on them, the ring gap measured at 0.20, which is within spec, and it's what I have been advised to run these pistons at for my low boost application, except for this one. This was the grade 1, and this one came in at I think it was a 0.017. Now, that should be okay. That's what a lot of people are running their 240SXs with boost, with different pistons, you know, with Wiseco pistons. But that's interesting that the one that shattered has a measurable difference in ring gap, and that it's in a grade 1 cylinder. That's going to make me take a second look over at the 2001 block when I put it together. So anyway, next steps are I'm going to plastic gauge. I'll probably just plastic gauge one bearing, and if it comes out exactly right, I'm not going to bother with the rest. Yeah, I think everything else is going to be fine. I don't think there's going. I really don't think there's enough of a difference between these to make any actual difference. Especially since, in my case, I want slightly more slop in the cylinders anyway. Not in the bearings, no, but I want slightly more slop so that they have more room to flex. It's a little less efficient, but you know, I'm going for boosty, not efficient. So yeah, after that, clean this surface one more time, clean the deck one more time, clean the thread bosses, clean, make sure the timing chain side, which is this side, make sure the timing chain side is really clean, because having a leaky timing chain cover is horrible. I hate it. I had a leaky timing chain cover on a VQ motor, and after I put everything together, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put RTV Ultra Gray all around the outside. And you know what? It worked. It never leaked after that. But I'd rather that I didn't have globs of glue on my timing cover. That was embarrassing. Of course, that was in a minivan, and in the minivan you have to put this thing that's the size of plate armor in a gap that's not even big enough to put a serpentine belt, and somehow you have to do it with an 1/8" bead of RTV gray on the lines, all the exact correct lines as you maneuver it in. Don't bump any surface. It's like the worst game of Operation you ever played. And then slide it straight onto the dowels. Awful job. Anyway, so yeah, about ready to do, put the head on, and then comes the camshafts, chains, and then all the other just stuff gets bolted on. And I do have some other stuff to clean, like, the intake and the plenum. There's also just a ton of grease and grime all over the inside underneath, the frame and whatnot, and I'd like to clean that off a bit. So, all right, making progress. I've got a deadline too, because they're going to be pulling the meter box out of this building here in 1 week, so I'd like to get this all done and driving so that I don't have to roll the car out and roll it back in with it not finished. So, good night.